Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished ice cream for the day, which means it's time to clean the machine. Alright, let's talk about how to clean the machine. I've already given it one rinse, but to save yourself a lot of time and effort, after you give it a rinse, you're going to give it a second rinse. Okay? Again, I would recommend you get one bucket and fill that baby up. Then either a second full bucket or another half of these, like so. By doing this and letting it rinse in there for at least a minute, it's going to save you time with wiping out the inside. You're still going to have to wipe it out, and we'll go over that in a minute, but this will save you some time doing it. Alright, welcome back. We've got our minute, so we're going to go ahead and stop it. And as I've said to you before, with your bucket underneath, hold it, open it, let it drain. And we're going to go out here. Okay. Now, you can see on the inside, we're going to be cleaning that, but there's less wiping in here that you would do. Had I not done that second rinse, there would be a coating here that would be harder to scrub out. Alright, let's talk about taking this thing apart. The first thing I'm going to need here is I'm going to have my key. Here at Boynton, it's right here at Lake Worth. They should have one of these now. And I'm going to start taking my O-rings out. There's one here. I'm going to carefully go ahead and pry that thing out of there. Take it right out. Okay, I'm just going to hold on to it. I'm going to take this top hopper part apart. Slide that out. Take that out. Okay. I'm going to bring these and put them in the center part of our sink. Now, I've already made sure that this part of the sink is empty. I don't want a bunch of other dirty dishes in here. When I do the machine, I just want machine parts in there. I'm going to come to the front of the machine. You're going to need this key for this one little O-ring here in the front. As you can see, it can be quite tricky. Got it. Now, this O-ring, we're going to put this somewhere safe so I know where it is, because it's so small it can get lost easy. Now, you can see the importance of the O-ring, because without it there, this slides right off. There's another O-ring in here. We're going to go ahead and take that out, separate them, put them in the center sink. The last piece I'm going to take out of this machine is going to be this center bar. Okay? I'm going to put my keys down. I don't need them right now. The center bar is relatively heavy, so make sure, again, we're cleaning it now, so we can reach in. We don't need gloves. This is all going to get cleaned and sanitized. Going to reach in with one hand, grab that, and here. People have a tendency to let it drop, and this dings on the inside. We don't want that, so careful with it. And the last O-ring that we have, this one will slide right off here. Now we have all of our pieces. Alright, so I have all of my pieces here. I'm going to get these all cleaned. Now, you're not going to watch me clean them. You should know how to do dishes. I'm going to scrub these up real good, and then I'll get back with you with how to clean the others. Ladies and gentlemen, over here on the table, I've washed all those parts you saw me take apart. They're all clean, sitting on the table now. Now I have to wash the remaining portions here. The door, the ring, and the inside. So let's start on the inside. Okay. I got to get all the way around in here in every direction and get this sparkling clean. Okay. As you can see, it was a clean rag. There is stuff in there, some residue. That's what we have to make sure we get out. Remember, this is more of a milk substance, so if we don't get it out, it's going to start smelling. Imagine if you had milk sitting out and you put it in your cereal. It wouldn't be very good. Okay. Now I wipe. Now I got to look. I got to get down in there and peek in there and look for any residue. Now we have to get the door. This door is a beast. Okay, just to get a whole new door is like $2,000. This machine itself is like $20,000. It's like a car, so make sure you're taking care of it. Okay? Get in those edges. We're going to get residue out. That's what we want. Again, this is all milk-based products, so we don't want rotten milk in there. Alright, this is where it gets tricky. These bars are super important. You cannot break them. So we're going to feed this in there and pull it through. It's like flossing your teeth here. We're going to floss in there the best that we can and get it the best that we can. I'm going to go ahead until I can get the back. I'm going to feed it through the front one so I can get the back edge really good. Now we're going to clean off the front And then we're gonna put this baby back together. Now, think to yourself, what did we do when we took it apart? Well, let's start with the inside. You remember where this goes? It's gonna go right in here. But before I can do that, I have to get special lubrication. Okay, this is a food-based lubricant. Okay, so I'm gonna put some on my finger here. Again, you don't want to use gloves for this because it won't work real good. That's why you use clean hands. And I'm gonna spread it all the way around. Yes, your hands are gonna get this food-based lubricant on it. We don't want to overly do it, but we don't want to underdo it. We want to make sure it gets a little slick all the way around. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the two edges, push them in on each side, and then follow it around one way, follow it around the other, and we're in. Okay? You should see a little bit of the lube. It should be right there. That's a good thing. We're going to get this piece right here. Now, you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but I can tell you this for a fact. One side is completely flat. The other side has a little bit of a raised edge or a beveled edge. You want that bevel edge pointing out. Okay, this is imperative because if the bevel edge is not pointing out and you do it backwards, when people pour in the ice cream mix or you do it the next day, it's going to drain right out of the machine because it won't lock in that liquid. So if the first time you're doing it, have somebody that's done it before show you. Just like with the other one, we have to lube it up. Use the lubricant on there. And then just like before, we're going to take it. There's the edge there. I'm going to double check. Yep, there's the bevel edge. I'm going to do the sides. And I'm going to press it in all the way around. And together, there's a little notch in here. Put them together. Okay. So it's pointing straight out to me. This is where the door goes in. I'm going to push it up. And then slide it over. It locks it into place. Remember that little O-ring that we had before? We have it again. I still have some of that lubricant on my hand. I'm going to use it. I'm going to put this on. This way, this door, when I go to put it down, will stop. Again, if you forget that little notch tomorrow, when you go to put it down, it's just going to fall and you're going to have to rewash it and it's going to be a disaster. Okay? We have our last two pieces for that door. Our hopper door. Slide this in, there's some holes. Again, this machine is super expensive. I don't mean to talk prices, but just the bar right here, it's like $1,400. Okay, so please make sure you treat it with care and the respect that it deserves. We're going to use our lubricant and we're going to use our little O-ring, and what we're going to do, there's the 3 bars here. We're going to put what they say is like a pea-sized dot over each of those 3 bars. We're then going to put our ring on top. And we're going to turn it a little bit and spread that around a little bit. And then we're going to do 3 more right on top. Again, we don't want to overdo it, but at the same time, we don't want to underdo it. This lubrication is important for that machine to work. And again, the last thing we want is that machine not to work for many reasons, but we don't want to break it because it's more than a car. All right. So I've lubricated it up. I've cleaned this really well. I've wiped all the edges. I've gotten underneath it. I've gotten the middle. Every single bit of it has been cleaned. Okay, now I'm going to take it with 2 hands. I'm going to carefully make sure the white piece goes in, and I'm going to slide it forward. Okay, you can see it's sticking out, so I have to turn it so that it goes all the way in. All right, now the machine is back together. I'm going to close it. I'm going to lock it up. Okay, we're not done yet. There's still parts of the machine that do need to get wiped and cleaned. But before I do all of those, I'm going to sanitize the machine. This is extremely important. I'm again going to take my bucket, and on top or near the top of the ice cream machines, I have sanitizer granules. Okay, I'm going to get myself 1 level spoonful. I'm going to put it into my bucket. And then I'm going to put cold water, or the cold, not hot water, the cold water. It's not necessarily ice cold, but it's cold water. I'm going to pour this into the machine, but as I pour it in, I want to sanitize this entire area. So as I pour it in, I'm just not getting it down in the drain. I'm pouring it to get all these metal surfaces. Like so. Get all the bars, all of it's going to get sanitized. Again, this bucket is clean. I'm going to put that back, or I'm actually going to need it to drain it out. I'm gonna hit the rinse button again, and that's gonna do that. I'm gonna let it rinse for about a minute. Now I need to do the last bit of cleaning. We see down here we have the white bar. Container picks right up. Gonna bring it in there, rinse it off and clean it real good, wipe it down. Here we have this. Now I did this yesterday, so you don't have to do it every time, but I want to tell you that this piece, it comes off and you can clean it. You can see it's not dirty back there because yesterday I did it myself. So you need to understand that at least once a week you want to go ahead and pick that up. But if we're not taking it off, we're still wiping it and cleaning it. This area is a lot built up ice cream under each lip, every little area. This is just going to go right on. It'll lock itself into place, no problem. I'm just going to use this bucket to drain out the sanitizer water. Open it like so, and that's it. I'm not going to scrape out the excess water because I want the sanitizer to do its job. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to let it drain for a little bit before I take that bucket and put it away. Again, this is a super important job. The first time you do it after watching this video, you should also get some hands-on training. But this video should serve as a reminder as to how to do it.